I'm Dr. Judy, and this is, well, in my opinion. Today we're asking the question, what are some red flags you ignore?
I think everything that, I would think about before getting into a serious relationship are red flags that I ignore when I'm first starting to date someone. So, their financial stability, for example. I don't care about a guy's financial stability when I first start to date them. But then if I'm going to enter a serious relationship with someone, then I want them to be able to support themselves.
Because it's exhausting to have to worry about someone else on top of
yourself.
And also, if it gets serious enough that you're thinking of having a family with them one day, you're not would I be able to take a month off work to breastfeed? Or are you going to be good?
Exactly. Would I have to support both of us?
Right.
So that's a red flag that, I'll go on a date with a guy who's just moved to LA. I'm living on my friend's couch, don't have a job, whatever. I'm that's cool. Drinks on me. But it's if I were to get serious about them, then it's not a red flag I would ignore.
Yeah.
Oh, a really big red flag that I ignore when I'm first starting to date someone is codependency, in terms of they don't seem to have a solid group of friends on their own. But when I'm first starting to date someone, it's I'm not going to sit there and be so, how are your friendships? Do you have any close friends? How often do you see them? What was your last relationship like? Did you spend all your time with them? Or did you kind of keep your own life? It's so that's a red flag I willingly ignore.
One thing I ignore in the beginning is if someone has a drinking problem. If I'm do they have a drinking problem? I'm well, it's fun right now. And then once I care about them, I'm I think you're going to kill yourself, so we should talk about it at the beginning.
Same. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
And then the other thing I've ignored at the beginning is jealousy. And now I'm if someone shows signs of being having that jealous type, overly jealous, I'm nope. So that's a red flag I don't ignore anymore, but I used to.
Yeah, that's the one, probably the only red flag that I've never ignored. Mm-hmm. I do this thing when I first start dating a guy that I'm interested in, because I have so many close guy friends that have been my best friends for 10 plus years, since I was a teenager. And I will never sacrifice my friendships with them because of a guy that I'm dating's jealousy or insecurity issues. So that's one red flag that I immediately pick up on from the beginning, because it's such a huge deal to me. I do this thing every single time that I'm interested in a new person. Sometimes it's on the second date. I'm hey, do you want to stop by, to grab a nightcap with some of my friends? They're out at this bar. And I do it on purpose because it's
You're
me.
Are you cool with me having a guy friend?
Yeah, I take them to meet.
That's ridiculous that you even have to do that.
Well, because it's a lot of times it's a huge issue. There are a lot of guys and a lot of girls in the world that don't think that heterosexual male and females can have platonic friendships without one of them wanting to sleep with the other. I'm also very self-aware when it comes to my friendships.
So naive and immature. Exactly. I'm so over that shit. I don't.
Yeah.
Your red flags might matter faster than you think. Men form a positive or negative opinion about a woman in an average of 1 hour. If you think that's fast, women only take 15 minutes to form a positive or negative opinion about a man. So no matter what red flag someone is looking for, all of us form our opinions pretty quickly.
You've been through some red flags?
Yes, and I ignore them all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I feel I can change their mind.
Uh-huh.
If they're saying, I'm not looking for a relationship, but I know you are if you're trying to talk to me.
I think one of the biggest red flags I ignore, and I'm a Leo, so I do get territorial about people that I really like or I care about. And so it's hard for me when I see text messages come through or they're talking to other people, but we're not dating yet.
Right.
So I gotta let those red flags to me go, just so I can kind of cultivate the relationship and see where it goes. Yeah. Because I don't want to be the person that's jumping on every message or who is that? Or, even internally, I'm okay. If you're that interested in me, you shouldn't even be considering these other people. That's how I really feel.
Right.
Because I'm the grand prize for sure.
Exactly,
1,000% hands down.
exactly. And why is your phone chiming this much while we're together?
At 11 o'clock. No.
Exactly, because that's booty call.
That's a booty
hours.
call, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've had to put those red flags on the back burner just to cultivate the relationship and until it becomes serious, you know, until we start having these expectations and be like, okay, I want to date you exclusively. Let's not talk to other people and let's give each other that respect.
Yeah.
I kind of wait to that period. And that beginning period it's tough.
The beginning period is tough because you don't want to seem so eager, like, what are they doing, who's texting, but it's also like, you know, you have this chemistry, so like, what do? You
got to keep a cool
Yeah,
head.
you
Let
do.
them come to you.
But if you're just, you know, unemployed, really not pushing yourself to do what you want to do, yeah, you can't date me because I'm a hustler.
Yeah, listen, same with me. I go 24/7. I go hard.
Yeah.
You know, if there's unemployment, that's not a deal breaker. That's not a huge red flag. It's just they have to have extreme passion and heart and a drive in what they do. And I can ride with that.
Right.
That's okay. And there'll be a test period. Then after that, it becomes a red flag.
Right. I can't be the only one providing. We got to bring something to the table together.
No, listen, we got to be real. We're living in these quarantine streets right now, and there's a lot of unemployment happening, so it's not necessarily a red flag, but you know, when the world gets up, back and going, if someone is unemployed but they have that drive and hustle and heart, then I can ride with that.
Same.
Yeah, I don't think between being employed or unemployed is a red flag either way.
Yeah. In relationships, it's all about working together. And you can work together and help each other to get to that point.
And listen, there's someone that can be employed and have all the money in the world and treat you like trash and take you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%. I've been in relationships like that too. And so don't let the money fool you. It's about the heart first.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Hindsight is 20/20, and when you analyze a relationship in the rearview mirror, people always identify those red flags so much more clearly. But in the moment, it can be tough. Especially in the early stages of dating, you get really wrapped up in those feelings of little highs, you get excited to see the person, and even though you know those red flags intellectually, you're not allowing your emotions to really take it in. And you start to make excuses for the person, even though you've been down this path before. So sometimes it's helpful just to slow it down a little bit, maybe not see each other 7 days in a row if you just started dating. Have a few days in between so you have some time to chill, talk to your friends, and really get in your right mind. I'm Dr. Judy, and this has been, well, in my opinion. Like and subscribe below. This episode is brought to you by Giddy, the source of sexual health and wellness news and information. If you have any sexual health or wellness questions, go to getmegiddy.com.